Welcome to the vlog. And today is a different topic. It's a different topic to what I normally do. This is a story time. This is a story time of how I got scouted for modelling. Not just once, but twice. I got scouted for modelling twice. And I did actually end up doing modelling last year. I worked for Australian Fashion Week. During Australian Fashion Week, I worked for Verna. I loved their brand. It was so good too. It was so much fun. And then it was a really good experience. And then I've also had test shoots, and I've been to a lot of castings. My modelling career was only a little more than 6 months. I quit or retired or whatever word you want to call it in August, I want to say in August, just after I got back from my Europe trip last year. It was from January. When I got scouted the second time, it was in October. So I hadn't actually done anything until January. Was the first time I did something in the modeling industry, actually working in it. And then the last time I did anything would have been in June, just before I went to Europe, and then retired / quit in August. Anyway, but that's not what that's about. It's not about me quitting. If you want to know why I quit, then I guess I can do another story time if you want that, but it won't be a very long story time of why I quit. Anyway, but this is a story time of how I got scouted for modelling twice. The first time I got scouted for modelling was on Monday, the 11th of April in 2022. And I was at the Royal Sydney Easter Show. And it was my first time going to the Royal Sydney Easter Show too, because I had just moved up from Melbourne. I was 16. I just turned 16. And we moved from Melbourne and that's important to the story too, of why I didn't start modelling until after I got scouted the second time. I moved from Melbourne to Sydney. Well, I didn't move to Sydney. I moved an hour and a half north of Sydney. So this is a weekend, a holiday kind of thing for the school Easter holidays, because at the time I was in year 11. I did year 11 and 12 up here in New South Wales. I moved in December of 2021, 2 days before Christmas. So I hadn't been living up here in New South Wales for very long at all when this happened. And I'd say it's probably more of I feel modelling is bigger in Sydney there's more opportunities in Sydney, because I remember some girls I met, they were like, oh yeah, I'm actually from Brisbane or something, and have travelled down here for a month or two just trying to get jobs for the Australian Fashion Week last year in 2024. Anyway, so it was pretty interesting. But that's not the point. Okay, the point is how I got scouted. So the first time I got scouted was 2022, Monday, the 11th of April, at the Royal Sydney Easter Show. That day, I was with my mum, my grandparents, my nana and granddad, which is my mum's parents, and my two younger brothers. We'd been there for a while, and my grandparents, they had to leave early because our dog, we had to bring him with us to Sydney because we couldn't just leave him up where we just moved, because it's a rental and dogs weren't allowed inside and he had to sleep outside. And so we couldn't just leave him outside for 2 days or however long we were. So he was in our grandparents' house. But apparently, they messaged my grandparents and they're like, oh, there's a dog that keeps on barking and is whining and stuff. So they left early. And we wanted to go to the Showbag Pavilion. And so I was charging ahead. I was speed walking because I was I haven't had a show bag for a very long time. The last time I got a show bag was actually a Paul Frank themed one. Not this bag though. a different bag, and it's actually broken now. I had to throw it out. That's kind of sad. So I was like charging down through there was no queue or anything, so that was pretty good. And my brothers, they were like not far behind me at all, and my mum, she was like just slowly walking up, you know. And then so we charged through like the queue lines, and then we got to the end of the entrance, and then we were just waiting for my mum to like walk through the lines anyway. And literally as soon as that happened, like as soon as we were back together, like with my mum, like she caught up to us, I wasn't actually approached. My mum was approached. They asked my mum, they're like, is this your daughter? And my mum was like, yeah, this is. And then she was like, oh, has your daughter ever thought about modelling? And then we were both like, no, not really. And she was like, well, here's my card. Like, she had a business card. And she was like, oh, and I'm the director of this modelling company, The Scouted, which was very cool. I'd never heard of them before. My mum hadn't either. We don't really know, like at the time we didn't really know of any big modelling companies or anything, or what that was like. Like we didn't really know much about the modelling industry at all. We had a little chat with them, and they were like, oh, you know, if you're interested, you can like give us a call and stuff, because we had her number and her email and everything, because she gave us her business card. And then she wasn't alone. She was actually with one of her models at the time, and I can't remember her name. Unfortunately, I can't remember her name. I was like very shocked. I was like, oh, like I was super shocked, because like I didn't think that would ever happen to me, you know? Like, because to me that was just things that you'd see in like the movies, or like, I don't know, when you like search up something like, oh, how, like if like a big model popped up on my For You page and was like, and I was like interested, and I was like, oh, who's this person? How did they get to where they are? And I'd be like, oh, that's so interesting. Anyway, so like I never thought that would happen to me. I was very shocked. I was like, almost like, oh, that's like so cool. And then she also asked like what my like ethnicity was, and I was like, oh, I'm my dad's Chinese, and so like I'm half English and like a quarter Chinese, because my dad's half. Anyway, so like that was like what my ethnicity was, because she was like very curious, and like she was like, oh, you're like the type of look we're looking for. And I was like, oh, shucks. Well, I don't actually know if I was like that, but like in my head I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then like after we parted ways, my brother, he was like, what about me? And that was really funny to me. But anyway, that was that. That's what happened that time. Like that was the first time I got scouted. And I remember what I was wearing too. Now, I'm not saying what I'm wearing will like, if you wear it, you'll get scouted or anything. Like, I'm not saying anything like that. I just remember, like, I'm just saying what I was wearing. I was wearing high-waisted shorts from Pavement Brands. They're like a girl's teen brand kind of thing. And then this top is actually my mum's top, but I stole it because I still have her clothes. Like this jumper, that's my mum's. Like this is my mum's jumper, but I wear it now, so. And then this is the top I was wearing. I was also wearing these Birkenstocks, but they're actually like broken now, which is really sad. I've actually never owned my own pair of Birkenstocks. There's always been hand-me-down Birkenstocks. I told them about my sports and stuff, because like at the time I was joining a new field hockey team. I was starting year 11 at a new school in a new state, in a new city, like I'd never been to before in my life. Like I'd never been to the place where I live at the moment before, ever. Like we just moved here. Like we didn't even check out the place before moving here or anything. We just moved here, and it was like a lucky thing that it wasn't a good place, you know. Anyway, so it's like there was like a lot of new stuff happening at the time, and like I was very, very interested, and I was very, very keen. Like they came up hour and a half north because they were going to some festival or something a little bit further inland. I can't remember what it was now anyway, and that we met up for lunch and we had a chat about everything and how it works and like what, like we had lots of questions, and they actually bought lunch, which was really, really nice. I really like, I enjoyed talking to them because I literally had no idea. Like I didn't know anything. And I'm a very tall girl, by the way. I'm 182.5 centimeters. So I'm 6 foot. I'm very, very tall. And like I wasn't wearing any shoes that were making me taller. Like I wasn't wearing any makeup that day either. Like I don't really wear makeup. Like I'm wearing no makeup right now. I don't have a single speck of makeup on my face right now. Like, yeah, I don't really wear makeup. And so like they were like, oh, you're like a beacon of light. Like we were just like, they said how they've been just like in that area all day, like waiting for like a person to rock up to like talk to you and like be like, oh hey, have you tried modeling before? I didn't sign with them and I didn't start modeling just yet that time when I was scouted. It was very good though. Like I really, like, it really stayed in my mind, and they were like, oh, if you change your mind you can call us or anything. Throughout the next year and a half, I was very much like, it was like a little seed that had been planted in the back of my head, and I was very much like, if I don't try it then I'll regret it, kind of thing. And I didn't want to regret, like I didn't want to have life with having regrets. And I love fashion. It's always been a thing. Like I've always loved fashion, but I never thought about modeling. Like I remember in year 2, like I would go home and I'd draw dresses all the time. I'd draw clothes. So then the next year, when I was in year 12, I thought, oh, you know, I'll just like, it was getting to end. There isn't anything holding me back. Like I'm just doing my sport. I wasn't playing hockey anymore. And it was just me and athletics. And school was over. So I took some digitals of myself, like literally forward, side, and like, oh. Anyway, so I sent it in digitals. I didn't know what you were supposed to do or anything, so these digitals weren't that good. Like, the lighting was pretty bad, and like it was, I didn't realize you're supposed to have a blank background. Anyway, but so I sent it into 2 agencies too. I didn't know if you were supposed to send them into more or less, or like, I didn't know what you were supposed to do. So I sent them to 2 agencies. The one that I ended up doing modeling for, and another one. And then I got an email, like pretty quickly, to be honest. Like it was literally like a week later I got an email and they were like, oh, loved your digis, like love your photos, like did you want to, like, I don't even remember what the email says. I'll probably find it somewhere on my phone. Like I don't even know where my phone is. Like where's my phone? They said that they would love to meet me and when I was available. And what did I say? Oh no, I was completing the HSC at the time. Sorry, I thought I'd finished. That's a little blip in my memory. I was still completing the HSC apparently at that time, looking through those emails. So when I finished the HSC, I went and met with them, and they were so nice and they were so lovely, and I was like, oh, like I felt like every time I kept on meeting people in the modelling industry, they were like so nice and friendly, and I was just like, oh, everyone's so nice and friendly. But obviously, you know, that's not the case all the time because of, like, I don't know, horror stories and stuff you see online and things. But yeah, everyone had been so nice, and I was like, oh, they're so nice. And I went with my mum because at the time I was still 17 and I was like a minor, so I had to go with my mum. I mean, there's not much to it. Before I did send in my digitals to modelling agencies, I did research which agencies are best suited to me, and then I sent in my digitals to only 2 agencies. I don't know if you're supposed to send in more to more agencies than 2, but that's what I did. I won't really be posting like modeling stuff, like, unless if you want to hear story times. So I'm sorry if you got a little bit lost, because listen, when I'm like telling a story, I tend to get lost in other stories and then forget what I was saying in the first place. And like kind of like, I tried to say it as most structurally best as I could without getting distracted too much by other thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, turn the notifications on and stuff. Like, you don't need to, but you should. I post every Monday. Well, Monday Australian time. I do have like a little post on my channel saying what times and like what places, and that's all. See you next time.